Hello everyone, I'm Mansi and I am a mom, entrepreneur, and influencer. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic, growth and growth monitoring for toddler kids. Growth is an important indicator of the health and nutritional status of a child. Since the first 6 years are critical growth years for a child, it is important to measure and monitor their growth during this time. To discuss further on this topic, we have Dr. Mahesh Sulakshmi, who's a pediatrician in Aung, Pune, with an experience of over 13 years in this field. I'm so happy to chat with you, Doctor. Absolute privilege to be chatting with you today.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you.
And I must say, you have a tough task at hand because dealing with children is still easy, but dealing with paranoid moms who are constantly measuring every single milestone for growth and monitoring it constantly must be a really, really hard task on hand.
You're absolutely correct, Mansi. No doubt about it.
And I must say that I have a lot of respect for all the pediatricians, including my own, because in fact he's the brainchild behind Kids Stop Press. Because I used to go with this black book of so many questions to him that he said, "Listen, why don't you document all of this? Because I'm sure that the moms who come to me, I don't have to repeat the same thing again and again." Because moms are so paranoid about every single milestone that their child is reaching, has a height increase, has a weight increase, has the circumference of the head increased. We're constantly monitoring, and it makes such a huge difference to us. So, what's easier to manage, the mother or the child?
Both is a tough task. I mean, I would say it's equally tough to manage mother as the kid may be.
Doctor, it's without any further ado, I think it's very important to take the task on hand, which is we've been through as parents, as educators, as healthcare practitioners, our perspective to growth monitoring and all of that, right, has taken a whole new dimension. I really want to understand, while growth is an overall development, what do you think is the first step to grow right?
So, as you had correctly mentioned, that the growth is a holistic development, and we have to make sure that the child is growing in all the aspects, not only the physical but the mental, social, every all the growth parameters has to be tracked. So, you talk about the physical development. The healthy food, which meets their energy requirement, is the essential component of the best growth of the child. Apart from good physical activity and the good family time is important for their mental development and the psychosocial development. Apart from these inputs, it's very important that you monitor the growth and make sure that you intervene at the correct time to, in case there is any deviation from the growth, you have to make sure that you are intervening at appropriate time and making sure that the growth is never faltered. So it's very important that you track the growth, monitor the growth, and you make sure that the child is growing absolutely all right.
Right. So, doctor, what do you really mean by healthy growth?
As I just mentioned to you, healthy growth is not only the physical growth, but the overall development of the child, which includes their the milestones, their behavioral issue, their social development, their interpersonal relationship also needs to be monitored. So, though every pediatrician is tuned to sort of assess the growth of the child in all the aspects, coming back to the physical growth, what we generally measure is the height and weight, and this should proportionately grow and they should complement each other. It should not happen that the weight is growing and the height is not growing, or the height is growing and the weight is not growing. So this should, the height and weight should complement each other. So there is should no health parameter should be sort of compromised when you are sort of checking the healthy parameters of the growth.
Right. I think both the healthcare practitioners and the parents have a tough task at hand with that because, children are not playing as much as they used to. So, doctor, tell me, what is the pace at which children grow? Because, you guys are, of course, far more experienced, but as first time parents, how do you decide that this is the growth at 2, this is the growth at 4, this is the growth at 5, and so on?
So, as you know, every child when it is born at a different birth weight, and they grow proportionate to their birth weight in first 3 years of life. So, it's very important that you always take into account the birth weight of the child, and the subsequent growth also depends on this birth weight. So if you know that the weight increases faster than the height in initial few years, and that we have to track very well. So first 6 months, if you see the child, almost every child doubles the birth weight, and by first birthday they triple the birth weight. That's how the weight of the child increases in first year of life, while the length of the child increases by around 12.5 centimeter to 25 centimeter in first year of life and 12.5 centimeter in the second year of life, while it quadruples by the end of the fourth birthday. That way you have to monitor the weight as well as the height of the child. Both the boys and the girls, they increases their height and weight at a steady pace till the age of 10 years. And the final growth spurt generally happens at the teenage or the start of the puberty. So this is how the pace of the child's growth keep changing right from the birth till they attain the puberty.
Right. Doctor, what would really help is if you can tell us what are the factors which impact growth.
As I just mentioned to you, the most important factor is the birth weight of the child, because the ultimate of initial weight of the child, the health parameters of the child depends on what was the weight of the child at birth. So if you take into that consideration, then you have another parameters like the hereditary, how the genes of the parents are, how are the parents' height and weight. That also matters a lot. Apart from that, gender, as you know, male child can grow a little faster than the female child, but it's not always the case. Then the physical activity and exercise the child goes through also will determine how healthy the child is growing. And the hormones and the nutrition, that is the most important part of the growth. In nutrition, as we have discussed in our first question, the energy requirement of the child needs to be satisfied by good nutrition. Genes are inherited from parents and we cannot change
Right.
it, because then parents are short, it's difficult to expect the child to grow taller than the mid parental height, and then you'll have to put an extra effort for that. The lack of exercise and increased screen time has definitely caused a lot of toll on the child's overall growth. The balanced food to get all the nutrients, as I again insisting, is very important to get the appropriate growth of every single child.
Right. Doctor, you said a very interesting thing about, the hereditary part of it, which I think is very interesting because I always believe that we have some things which are in our control and some things which are not in our control, right? And what we can work is with things that are within our control. So when you say right nutrition, what does that right nutrition comprise of? Because as a mother, I feel empowered to know what does that right nutrition mean for my child, because that's the thing I can work on. The genes, of course, are not something that we can do much about, but what does that right nutrition comprise for a growing child?
Night nutrition is definitely is a basic thing which every parent should know what their child should consume. As I mentioned to you, the child should get enough calories to meet their energy requirement. Every child is super active and they need a lot of calories in initial few years to maintain their growth. Apart from that, the proteins has to be adequate in their amount. How much is the adequate is 1.5 gram per kg is what is essential every single day. That's the recommended daily allowance for the protein. Apart from calories or carbohydrates and protein, you have fat, vitamin, minerals also needs to be supplemented. We categorize them into a macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are which are required in a larger quantity, while micronutrients, though they are very essential for growth, they may not be required in that much quantity, but they are needed for sure. So we have to make sure that all the nutrition is provided through their diet, and that's going to make sure that the child is growing appropriate for the age.
Right. Doctor, while we are talking about growth, we've addressed nutrition. What about immunity for growth? How important is that?
So immunity is a part of nutrition. The growth itself comprises immunity as a part, as a parameter. So if you sort of want to have a best immunity, you have to make sure that the nutrition, adequate nutrition is given to the child. So if the child does not have enough nutrition, probably his immune system would be not well functioning, and the child has the chances to fall sick more often. And in the sick child, as you know, the growth is first thing to get hampered, and that's going to cause more problem for his growth. So it's important that the immunity has to be very good, and the nutrition accordingly has to be provided. So immunity and growth are totally interrelated. For good growth, you need a immunity. Good immunity. For good immunity, you need a very good growth also. So for this,
Right.
both the things, you have to make sure that the nutrition is adequate in every single child.
Right. So, doctor, are we saying that a child who falls sick less is likely to grow better? Therefore,
No, the child who has a less sickness obviously is going to grow better. So it's very
yeah,
important that you, because in childhood, because the immune system is still developing, there are bound
yeah,
to bound to be minor viral illnesses, common cold, cough, and diarrheal disease, which bound to happen in every single child. But they can happen more often if the nutrition is not adequate. And if the
true.
nutrition is not adequate, child will fall sick more often, and the growth is compromised.
It's great as you're speaking. I feel like it's also interconnected and all building block by block. And it brings me to, like, as a mother, how do I know that is my child getting enough nutrition? How do I monitor growth? Like, I can either every time people say, "Arey, she's become so tall, she's become so big," but is that the only metrics? I mean, how do you monitor growth at a more holistic level?
It's very important that you monitor the growth of the child, because that is the way you will know whether the child is growing or no. Growth is not just a single word, it has a lot of parameters associated with it. The first and foremost thing is the weight, then the second is height, the head circumference of the child, the mid arm circumference, the chest circumference, the abdominal circumference, the waist circumference. All these are important to track the growth of the child. Apart from this, weight and length or the height of the child is very, very important, because in early days, they are going to decide whether the child is malnourished or has a perfect nourishment or is overnourished. So that's also very important to track if the child is growing on correct track. So you have to monitor the growth by checking height and weight on a regular interval and plotting this height and weight on a percentile chart or a growth chart, which are easily available.
Right. Doctor, this is what you mentioned is great. And I feel that between 0 to 2, as moms, we are very paranoid. We'll check each time when we get the growth chart. But between the ages of roughly around 3 to 6, we never look at the head circumference, or we never look at the chest measurement. We look at only essentially height and weight as metrics, right? So any ways for a growing child, and how we can measure and monitor this growth at home?
So as you have correctly said, the head circumference, the mid-arm circumference, the waist circumference do matter till the age of 2 years, and after that, what we look after is only the weight and the height of the child. To measure this at home, it's very important that you should have a measuring scale which is appropriate, and then there are standard growth charts which are available all over. I'm sure everybody
Yeah.
knows about this growth chart, and you have to plot this height and weight appropriate to their age and have a serial notings of this. And these serial notings are going to get sort of compared with the percentile chart. This percentile chart actually measures the average growth of the child at that particular age. And if the child is following the same percentile, then you know that the child is growing adequately. That's how you're going to monitor at home. So you have to measure the weight, measure the height of the child, and plot it on the standard growth charts which are available. And that's how you're going to maintain the growth monitoring at home.
And I don't know if you have an answer for this, doctor, but how do you drive a paranoid mother who sees only that 1 centimeter growth, and then she's like, "Arey, my baby hasn't grown at all." So, any tips on that one?
What you said is a very, very important point, because mothers, if they don't see a child growing as quick as it was earlier in the earlier days, you feel that probably you are not doing good enough for the child's growth, and then you start thinking, are we missing out on something? And then the first question come to the pediatrician, whether my child is growing correctly. So what we always tell them, that if the percentile of the growth is maintained and it is not losing on, then we are sure that the child is growing very, very early, because the pace at which the child grows at different age is totally different. So the child grows fastest between 0 to 3 months, and then 3 to 6 months it slows down a bit. Between 6 months to 1 year, it steadies a little bit, and from 1 year to 2 years, there is hardly any growth. And after second birthday, there is again a little spurt, growth spurt, which is there, which maintains till the age of 5 years. and from 5 to 10 years you again have a little slow pace, and then at puberty there are another growth spurt which comes. So there are two or three growth spurts which comes in initial phases of life, and it's important that you follow these growth spurts or the growth charts so that you are not over worried or you are not too sort of relaxed for your child's growth. So it's very important that you maintain that. So as you said, the paranoid mother, if comes to the clinic and they're asking that the child is not grown by a centimeter or is little less than what it was previous month, we always tell them, okay, this could be a normal, but we'll check it on the percentile, we'll plot it on the growth chart, and this growth chart are going to help me as well as the mother to know how good the child is growing as far as the height and weight is concerned for his age.
Right. Doctor, I really thought that, and as a mother, I can say this between, till your child is 2 years age, where you are feeding the child will listen to you, largely breastfed till first year. It's easy. But then the picky eater phase starts between the ages of 3 to 6, right? Which is a very, very important growth phase in a child's life. And of course, that is also, I feel, a foundation for the child to have all the macro and micronutrients that you spoke of, proteins being the building blocks. Now, how do you measure holistic growth at that point in time? So, height and weight, and you said that it could also be behavioral and things like that. How do you ensure that beyond the height and weight, what would be good parameters for the parent to track? Like number of, like, is my child playing enough? Like, they can still be growing, but if they're not physically active or they're not they may not, cognitive development is not very strong. Any markers for those?
So, what typically look at, as you said, the child is really fussy eater after the 3 years of age. It's very important that you make sure that the child is given a good habits of eating, and you do not force the child any food. Make sure that child understand his own hunger signals. You feed the child only when the child is hungry, and it's very important that child understand the importance of food. How do they know? If you sort of talk positive things about food, the child is obviously going to understand that this food is important for their growth. Coming to your point, which you mentioned, that what are the other parameters where you can see that the child is growing well or no? Apart from the height and weight, which we generally measure at this age, we also make sure that the child's cognitive development or psychosocial development is appropriate for his age. Whether the child is playing with other or mingling with other friends of his age, whether the child is able to communicate effectively, whether the child is using the sentence and words, that's going to help us to know whether the child is understanding things. We make sure that the parents know about how to stimulate the child about each and every developmental parameter. So we actually have to interview the parents to know whether they know how to make sure that the child is stimulated all the time about their own growth, and that's going to help us as well as the parent to know that all the parameters, the holistic development of the child is happening in all the aspects. So we have to educate the parents and tell them to make sure that you are monitoring these parameters as well.
Doctor, another very important part here would be, when do I need to know as a parent that now's the time I need an expert, I need my pediatrician I need to seek his help? What are those markers?
So, if you're talking about the growth itself, when we are plotting this height and weight against the growth percentile or the against the age, if the child is losing on the percentile very quickly, losing or maybe gaining, because there could be childhood obesity also which we could deal with. So, if the child is gaining suddenly, so there is a 2 percentile deviation suddenly, two standard deviation suddenly, which is happening either in a positive or a negative way, you have to meet your pediatrician to make sure that everything is all right. Apart from that, there is a change in child's behavior or attitude towards parents, or is falling more sick more often, having many school holidays, or there is sudden change in the behavior of the child, you have to make sure that you meet your pediatrician and make sure that all the health parameters are all right with your kid.
Right. Doctor, one last question before we kind of conclude. What is the role of protein in a child's growth process?
So, as you correctly mentioned a little while ago, proteins are building blocks for the child's growth. Protein is something which is a base of the growth. So, this protein, if it's provided in an adequate manner or the quality of the protein is good, then you make sure that the child is growing very, very well, because they form a foundation for the child's growth. So, if the correct amount of protein good quality of protein is given at a correct time, then you make sure that the child is growing very, very. As I mentioned to you, minimum recommended daily allowances are 1.5 gram per kg per day. If you're not sure about the quality of food which you're using, consuming at home, we generally advise them to take supplements so that the child is growing adequately and do not falter on any of these growth parameters. So protein, yes, the building block for their growth, and we must make sure that the child is supplemented.
Doctor, now that you mentioned the nutritional requirement of proteins, if you can just elaborate for me the daily, what should a daily diet for a child be like?
So very, very important question. Every mother, when it comes to the clinic, they want to know what is the best diet. They do, they even if they know what they are giving, or they are not sure whether it's adequate or whether it's going to give enough nutrition or enough calories or enough protein to your child. What is a basic thumb rule? What we tell parents is make sure that the child is having two fruits, two vegetables, two cereals, and some dairy products and some animal source of protein, so that everything is included in your diet. So it's very important because the traditions and the food patterns may change from state to state, person to person, family to family, from religion to religion. So this will keep changing. So what we generally advise is to have two fruits, two vegetables, two cereals, enough dairy products, and some animal source of protein has to be included daily in your child's diet, which is going to make sure that you are giving a correct nutrition to your child.
Right. Dr. Mahesh, that has been incredible. In spite of, in spite of learning this over again, it just feels, and I feel no different from another mother who's second guessing, am I doing the best for my child, right? So I completely hear you. And every time I speak to each one of you, I feel like there's just so much for us as parents to take away. And this has been an insightful and a wonderful session, Doctor. And I've seen so many moms asking questions, and now not only moms but even dads asking questions on this topic, and I'm sure you've covered most of these. So really thank you so much for joining with us today and sharing all of this, because I'm sure that growth is the number one trigger for every single parent trying to do the best for their child.
Because for a healthy child, what we check is the growth, and if growth is all right, everything is all right for the parents. If any deviation in the growth, they immediately understand something is not right, so they immediately can rush to their doctor and make sure that everything is all right. So growth monitoring is very, very important for every child. And how to do that in a nutshell, Mansi, you have helped me to tell all your audience here how to monitor the growth at home and how to maintain the percentile chart, how to maintain the growth chart at home, and what do you look for nutrition, and how the immunity related to the nutrition, and what food can be included in daily diet for the every single child. These all points are covered today. Thank you, Mansi, for giving me this opportunity to be here today and talk something about the growth and the nutrition. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doc. Remember, guys, we as parents do a lot of hard work in ensuring our kids grow right. And today in this session, we've learned the importance of checking growth as a first step to growing right. I'm going to take this first step and would urge all of you all to do the same.